Hi and hello everyone. Welcome back to this PMP exam preparation course. We have so far covered a lot of topics. We started with learning the new latest exam updates, and then we have learned how to apply for this PMP exam. And then we started with all the three domains as per the new latest exam content outline. And then we have learned the 10 knowledge areas from the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, where we have covered 49 different processes. So, what we are going to learn, let's go ahead and search. See the project manager's mindset. So the project manager's mindset is a state of mind which actually gives us involuntary decisions when faced with a difficult situation. This is not a born talent, but a skill which can be developed by learning and understanding the ethics. Being agile is more important actually than doing agile. So we are going to learn all these professional ethics, and after that we'll be learning how to acknowledge this agile mindset. When we have learned the agile processes, we must have observed that we have not learned anything new. We have learned all those 49 processes, and agile mindset just tells us how to do the same things in an agile way. So, what happens here in professional ethics? First, we will be learning about four ethical values. There are majorly four ethical values that are defined by the PMI. So, we learn all this four, and then we have in agile mindset section where we will first understand how to form this agile mindset, and then we'll understand the key differences between the knowledge areas. So a knowledge area when done in a traditional way, how it looks, and then the same knowledge area when done in an agile way, how it looks. So all this content that is shown here, it is almost available for free, especially the professional ethics part. You can download it for free from pmi.org website, because this is ethics and it is totally based on some values and principles. We cannot actually change it. So that is the reason why I have copied the same content from that website, which is available for free for your reference. Please go to that website pmi.org, and then you can search for professional ethics or code of conduct, and then you'll find this link for free, and it's quite easily searchable. All right, let's get started. So PMI has defined a code of ethics and professional conduct, which is, as I told, is available for free download in pmi.org. So this topic is not directly related to the questioning style of PMP exam. Right? So please keep this in note. All the lessons that you are going to learn today, they are not directly going to come as one of your questions, but they are very, very important for your exam, because even if you do not read the questions, for example, and just look at the answers itself will hint you about different attitudes about the problem. So, for example, consider there is a urgent situation, right? So there is a high pressure from somebody, let's say customer, and then he's asking you to rush to do something wrong. So one of the options will be that just to satisfy the customer, do something against the ethics. Another option will be do something right, even if it hurts the customer, even if it delays the project. So such answers will be there, which are very critical to answer. You cannot just understand this, or you cannot answer such type of questions if you just learn the processes. So setting the project manager's mindset, setting the agile mindset also is quite important. And this mindset forms only when you learn all the ethics from the project manager's point of view. So the selection of choices from the options that we have from each of these questions, that comes instantly, involuntarily, only when you are training your brain from this ethics point of view. So I know it sounds a bit philosophical, but this intuition from the brain, it can be developed, it can be trained once you learn all this ethics. So once you are well versed with this ethics, and even if somebody is trying to influence you, you will not go in that pressure mode. So let us quickly go ahead and understand what these ethics are one by one. So let's started with this professional ethics. Right? Ethics, always promotes to do what is right and to do what is honorable. You have to, keep all these key points also in mind. You don't have to learn these by heart, and because why I'm stressing is these words are also mentioned in the PMI website. So the being ethical means being right and being honorable, right, as per the PMI's wordings. Ethics, these are not something which are restricted just to our work. if we aspire to reach higher standards in life, we need to adhere to these ethics at every place, right? We have to follow ethics at home, we have to follow ethics at supermarket, we have to follow ethics at gym, at profession, basically everywhere. So similarly, PMI has also defined such ethics to all the PMI members, and not just for the PMI members, of course, but everybody who has any one of its certification. PMI has a lot of certifications, right? ACP, CAPM, PMP. Everybody who is certified by PMI is bound by these ethics. So the main purpose of defining these goals or these ethics is to target, the evolution of this profession of project management. PMI strongly believes that project management is based only on these ethical values. So, what are these ethical values? As you can see on the screen, responsibility, respect, fairness, and honesty. These four are the ethical values. And now, what is this aspirational and mandatory conduct? We will learn each one of these ethical values in the slides to come, of course, and we will learn them by understanding these aspirational conducts and mandatory conducts. These conducts are actually associated with each other. So that's why before we move ahead, it's important that we learn what is an aspirational conduct and what is a mandatory conduct as defined by the PMI. So aspirational conduct is nothing but it's a behavior that a project manager strives to adhere to. So concentrate on our words. It is not something we are bound to do, but it is an inner drive from the project manager himself to achieve these standards, to achieve these conduct. What can we quote as an example? As I rightly mentioned before, not hiding a delay in the project with the customer. There is a delay that is going to happen, and the customer has to know what is truth. So you as a project manager, even though it hurts the customer or your senior manager, you must hold to the truth, and it's your responsibility as a project manager to go and update this to the customer. Right. So that is the aspirational conduct the PMI is expecting from all of its project managers. Similarly, the mandatory conducts. These are slightly more tougher. When I say tougher, we are bound by these mandatory conducts. These are something which the project manager does not do from within, but he is bound to do this. So if a project manager does not hold to this mandatory conduct, then he may even be prosecuted for doing so. What can we quote as an example? Consider a customer is asking you to do something illegal. So some illegal doesn't mean you just have to do murder or theft or something like that, but illegal is anything that is not within the law of the land. So consider an example. In Europe, people are not allowed to work on Saturdays and Sundays. Just an example. But in India, people are allowed to work on a Saturday also, and sometimes even Sundays people are allowed to work. So if you go to a European supplier and if you force them to work on a Saturday, that is something illegal. So if you force them to work on a Saturday or a Sunday, you may even be penalized by this labor laws. So we have to follow the law of the land, and that is just an example. So there are so many such mandatory conduct against each one of these ethical values. We'll learn each one of them one by one. So if the basic difference is understood between aspirational and mandatory conduct, it is going to be very, very easy for you to learn all these four values to be a better project manager. So let's quickly go ahead